Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to episode number 70 of the Batman on Film Social Hour. This is my little podcast on Batman on Film, and I am Bill Ramey. I'm the founder of BOF, and with me is Senior BOF Contributor Ryan Lauer. I don't even have to say he spells like lower anymore. You know that? Because you're world famous.
World, yeah.
World famous.
World famous. He drinks too much dew and eats too much cereal. If that's my rise to stardom, I'll take it. That's fine.
Hey, yeah. Whatever. Hey, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
I was just gonna say whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes. And you also you are the mastermind behind the 15 Jokers idea. Plot.
That whole idea.
Yeah.
It's working through the lawyers to get it trademarked, so hopefully it comes to fruition and we'll get a nice little cut here for the BOF company.
All right. I will say that this episode is brought to you by Athletic Greens. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy recovery, focus, and aging. Take back your health, Ryan Lauer, with Athletic Greens, and I'll talk more about that in a little while. So thanks to Athletic Greens for sponsoring the Batman on Film Social Hour. All right. So here's the deal, and I'm thinking that, and this is a good thing, right? Okay. We're trying to get to where we're going to cover animated Batman films, because really have never done that on Batman on Film when it comes to podcasts. And I thought, we're now in post the Batman time, right?
Yeah.
And we're a ways out from starting to talk about the sequel. And we're a year away from The Flash, when we'll get to talk about Michael Keaton as Batman and Ben Affleck in Batman in that movie. But so, I thought this would probably be a slow time with news. And then just like that, something comes up that we have to switch gears and change our topic. So today we're going to talk about the Joker sequel again.
Yeah.
Because some news dropped here, I guess, what was that? Late Monday?
Yeah.
Monday evening?
Yeah.
That not only is Joker, I should say, getting a sequel, and we know what its subtitle is as well. That came out a week or so ago. But it's going to be a musical, and Lady Gaga is in talks to star in it alongside Joaquin Phoenix. So we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
But first, I just want to say, this is my show, dadgummit, so I can talk about what I want.
Witty banter. You promise the listeners witty banter. So here you go.
Rachel and I drove down to Dallas, which is only about 30 miles, to go to the Dallas press screening for ELVIS last night. And we just decided to stay in town and make an event out of it. So I saw Elvis last night.
Yes, you did.
I just said, I'm repeating myself. And this has been a good year for my fandom. I'll say that. Had the Batman, got to see it back in late February and got to experience that run for several weeks. And now Elvis comes out.
Your years of being on WB's payroll have finally paid off this year.
For sure. Yes, exactly. So I am writing a review as we speak. I'll have it up sometime today. And today is the 15th of June, 2022. And man, it just blew me away, man. It is, I've wanted a big budget, big screen biopic for Elvis like forever. And there have been productions on TV, but there's never been this for Elvis.
Which, if you think about it, is kind of crazy because anybody of any generation, I think, could definitely support the idea of a big screen Elvis story.
Mm-hmm.
Like who in the music world deserves that? Elvis is definitely there.
Exactly.
And it's taken this long.
Yeah. It's there was the Kurt Russell TV movie Elvis in 1979. There was a miniseries in 2005 with Jonathan Rhys Meyers. And I mean, I'm not a fan of that last one, the 2005 miniseries. And I'm not a huge fan. As a kid, I was a huge fan of the Kurt Russell one. But as I got older, I fancy myself an Elvis historian. You know that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Elvis and Batman historian. And just, that Kurt Russell movie is just such a gloss over type of very stereotypical TV biopic production, linear, and
I'd love to watch
accurate.
That one.
Yeah,
because Kurt Russell, but also as a lot of like movie nerds, horror fans would know, directed by John Carpenter.
Exactly.
So I would love to see, after he did Halloween and he did this Elvis TV movie. I'd love to see that, and
that's
just see what it's like.
That's how Kurt Russell met John Carpenter, and then worked with him on other stuff afterwards, big screen stuff, like
The Thing.
The Thing, yeah. I'm trying to think. Did
Escape from New York?
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask. Did John Carpenter? He directed Escape from New York, right? Okay.
Yep.
So, all right. Anyways,
yeah. Sorry.
So this was a Baz Luhrmann joint, and it's very Bazzy. If you know his filmmaking style, very stylistic,
Mm-hmm.
but it just fits, and it's just different. It's linear, but it's not. There's a bunch of, going back and forth in the timeline. And wow. I mean, the highlight of it is Austin Butler. His performance as Elvis. At minimum, he's got to get nominated for Academy Award for Best Actor, and he should be nominated at all the other ones, Golden Globe, whatever, the whole 9 yards. And he should probably win the damn thing, to be honest. He is it was Elvis,
from the get-go, like as soon as he pops up on screen.
Yes.
Or is he will work his way into it, and then you see him as like, oh yeah.
I mean, I think maybe some people it would be that way.
Sure.
But as someone who, again, I fancy myself as an Elvis historian, right?
Oh, you do? Okay.
He just nailed it. I mean, the mannerisms, the voice. He does the singing for all the 50s Elvis, the young Elvis stuff. Then there's a blend of him and Elvis, and then there's just they use Elvis's voice for the later stuff, as far as the singing. And it blew me away. I mean, really did. And you know how fans are. I mean, like Batman fans will, they can't get past some, not all of them. Okay. But we've seen it with, you cast Michael Keaton as Batman and Mr. Mom is Batman, or Robert Pattinson. You're going to get the sparkly vampire from the Twilight films. I don't,
Yeah.
And of course, Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Yeah.
And you'll have fans. They should get like an MMA guy to play Batman because they can fight. You've seen that kind of nonsense,
Yeah.
So you have this kind of stuff with in any fandom. So there's like an Elvis group I belong to, and there's that kind of fan with Elvis. Like, well, they should have got such and such, this, an impersonator to play Elvis. Austin Butler, he doesn't look like Elvis, or stuff like that. It's just
they
nonsense.
spend a lot of money in movies on makeup. That's that person's job, is to bring the aesthetics, to change the look of somebody. So I don't know. It's a lesson we still haven't learned of. And I just say like that some people haven't learned that the look kind of the actor, the look of that person, it's like, sure, kind of, but makeup's there for a reason. It's them their craft. How good are they? You've seen the Elvis.
You've seen the trailers, right?
Yeah.
And you've probably seen the TV spots by now, I'm sure.
TV spots I haven't, surprisingly.
Okay. But Austin Butler doesn't not look like Elvis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see him and it's like, yeah.
That first trailer, the part that I think that really it's almost like, I don't know what you call them, that they're over doors. It's almost like beads or something like that in a doorway. And he like steps through it and he says something about like, it matters to all of us, or it's a part of all, or something like that.
Oh, it has everything to do with us.
Yes, that one. Oh, gee, you know what I'm talking about.
Of course I do.
But that in the trailer, I think, was that first trailer. That was the part that hit me of like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
Like that was the part that I thought like, damn, that sounds, that looks, that feels, which is really funny that it is, 1 second in a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. To me, it looks, oh, cool. I could see this guy.
Yeah. And, he's an actor.
Yeah.
And that's what they do is they play make-believe for a living and they're really good at it, And
a big studio production like this, you're telling me that this person is not going to know this is Elvis. I've got to put it all into every aspect of, you know what I mean? Of, I got to go full Christian Bale for this role, you know, embody this person.
Apparently he did a Christian Bale.
Yeah.
With Elvis for this. And he was just great. Tom Hanks was great. Now you talk about makeup. He was under a lot of prosthetics to play.
This is the thing that I've
Colonel Tom Parker.
Hanks. Yeah. I love that guy. Somebody had said, it was somebody I worked with, I think, said Tom Hanks is America's dad. He shows up. It's a blanket, a warm blanket. Yeah. He feels to me Tom Hanks in what he does. Just different versions of Tom Hanks. He's not going to Austin Butler morph himself to be Elvis. Tom Hanks pops up, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And even in talking and what we've heard in the trailer, it's like, oh yeah, that's Tom Hanks.
What's like great about it is, and this is a compliment to Tom Hanks because he is a great actor. And I will say there's a little bit of Tom Hanks where he's Tom Hanks in movies. You know what I mean? Okay.
Oh yeah.
But he is the villain of the story. In this story.
I don't.
Yeah.
I fancy myself as an Elvis student.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a lot to learn. I don't know much with that story. And I've purposely avoided doing anything so that I can watch the movie, kind of going a little bit blind.
Yeah.
And I know that there's probably a lot of people that are like, how do you not know anything about his character? But it's like, I don't, and I'm glad that I don't. I know watching the movie will only get me interested.
Yeah.
To then start reading up even more.
So Tom Hanks does a great job of playing Colonel Parker, and he is, like I said, he is the villain of the story, and he does a good job of you disliking the Colonel, so that is that. I will just say, if you're listening, go see it. It's Elvis is a cultural icon, and I mean, you can show just about anybody a picture of Elvis and say, that's Elvis, but he's also become, I mean, to a lot of people, he's a Halloween costume, Yeah. And this movie really does humanizes Elvis and shows the impact that he had on American culture and society that there was nothing like it. And that really hasn't been since he came on the scene in 1955, 56. And the movie, it's a tragedy, of course. There's not a happy ending, of course, but it shows Elvis for what he was. And I like the fact that Baz Luhrmann, and this is part of his style, is that he'll do period pieces and bring in contemporary music, So they are, like I said, Austin Butler sings all the 50s stuff that's in the film. Hound Dog, That's All Right. Baby, Let's Play House. Trouble. There's some other stuff, He does all the singing with it for that. And of course they have Elvis. Elvis himself uses his voice, his singing voice. But there's also other artists, contemporary artists, who cover Elvis songs.
In the movie?
In the movie, yes.
Okay.
It's part of the soundtrack, part of the score, part of the soundtrack. And
my favorite is Eminem. And he's got a song with CeeLo Green that's supposed to drop tomorrow called The King and I. And I'm really interested to see, to listen to what that is like.
So that music is infused into the film.
Okay.
And a lot of the like Doja Cat has this Vegas out now. Have you heard that?
I haven't heard that.
Okay. One. And it's an original song, but it's also incorporates the Big Mama Thornton version of Hound Dog, which is the original blues version of Hound Dog. And so it pays, not only does it make it contemporary, it also is a homage to those folks, Big Mama, the artist who inspired Elvis.
And you liked that version too?
Yes. Yeah.
This new version. Cool.
Yeah. And so
I was going to ask you with the music. So I think we've talked about Elvis on here a couple times, and I've told you that Walk the Line is my music biopic, like my number one. And the music sequences in that were great. Does Elvis not short the audience of great musical sequences?
No,
not musical, which would be a transition what we're going to talk about, but like him performing on stage.
Oh,
concerts,
you get 50s Elvis.
Sweet.
And at his full capacity of what that was back then.
It's full Elvis.
you get the 68 comeback special.
Yeah.
Which was really, it was one of the lighter moments, because Tom Parker had pitched NBC Elvis doing a Bing Crosby like Christmas special, and wanted him to wear like one of those crazy Christmas sweaters and sing Here Comes Santa Claus, and and Elvis was working with some young producers, and they were doing something completely different. And Elvis just, there's a story that Steve Bender, he was the main producer on that show, told that they're making the special, and Colonel Parker comes in and says, "No, Elvis, this is going to be a Christmas special, right? And we're going to have Christmas songs. Isn't that right, Elvis?" And Steve Bender says, he said, "I watched Elvis put his head down and just mumble, 'Yes, sir.'" And he said, "Good." And the Colonel turned and walked out, and Elvis looked at Steve Bender and smiled and said, "Fuck him." So that's in the film, because Elvis did exactly what he wanted to do, and it became a classic TV moment, and got Elvis's career back on track. And so that's all in there, the 60s stuff, and then the early Vegas stuff, which was really, really good. We think about Elvis in by the mid 70s, just overweight and going through the motions and just slaving away in Vegas, and that's touched upon because that was a Tom Parker thing. Have Elvis work nonstop, touring in Las Vegas, these residencies in Las Vegas, because he had gambling debts, so he had to keep Elvis working, so the money was coming in. So it's just So
I thought for some reason the movie was going to be rated R. I don't know why. The impression I thought was that it was going to be rated R. So when I saw that it was PG-13, it was. You feel definitely PG-13 was. It sounds like it, like perfect rating for it. It was.
Yeah.
You didn't see a need for it to have to go lighter or darker. It was fine. Cool.
So
how many times during it did you look at announcer Rachel and smile?
I was fixated on the screen, man.
Or is that a question for her? You need to have her on here and just be like, so describe how Bill was during the movie.
So, I mean, and I, so go see it. And I hope it
does well, because it's kind of different for summer fare.
I hope it brings Elvis to like younger folks, and even not even maybe your vintage, who never really listened to Elvis. They would say, "What did Elvis sing?" "Oh, he sang Hound Dog." Stuff like that. Jailhouse Rock. You could just boom, boom. But listen,
Yeah, because I've been sending you probably, like the past year, Pandora a lot, and I do an Elvis channel, and there's a bunch of, and I told you it started to get a little bit more invested in the sense of, which it sounds stupid to say his library is so much more expansive than I was aware of, but you listen to oldies stations and stuff on the radio, you hear the same songs. So it's almost like, oh, that's Elvis's song. I've heard this one since I was 5. You do Pandora, they start mixing in a bunch of variety that's like, oh damn, I didn't, this one kind of doesn't sound like him, but I get that it does sound, and I'd send stuff to you, and of course fancying yourself to a story, and you're like, oh yeah, that's this album 1969 and or whatever, that's a good album or something. And I started to really hear more of his library that I was really enjoying.
If anyone asked me what should I listen to, and I can tell you, the Sun stuff, Sun record stuff, that's probably when he was at his most creative in the beginning. The Elvis Is Back album, his first album he recorded after he was in the Army, 1960. I would get His Hand in Mine, the Elvis gospel album. It's fantastic. And I'm not like a connoisseur of gospel music. That's not my thing, but Elvis is just his vocals and his performance on that album is fantastic. And then the From Elvis in Memphis album that he did in 1968, 69, that was like, maybe that's his best studio album ever. That session.
Which one's that?
From Elvis in Memphis. He went to American Sound Studios in Memphis and worked under a producer, and really it was great stuff. I mean, that's the session. I mean, Suspicious Minds came out of that session. There's
that
also,
that was one I'd heard, which is so nuts that I heard that about a year and a half ago, and to me sounds like the first time. And I love that song. And I remember I sent that one too. Yep, I see the cover of it now, and you're like, oh, that's the best album.
Oh, it is. It's by far. And so that's it. This is Batman on Film. We're going to get to Batman. So I just want to say, go see Elvis. I give it a big thumbs up. I'm going again on the I'm going to go on the 21st of those. They're having those early fan screenings.
Oh, they are? I didn't know they were doing that.
Yes, they are. They are.
Ah, damn, that's next Tuesday. I can't. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
We were in before the missus. She hasn't seen a trailer or anything, and she was game. She's like, I like Elvis. I'm in. Let's go. Okay. So we'll be there.
Okay.
It'll be opening weekend.
Just don't expect, well, I would say, I'm gonna put it in my review. It's not Walk the Line for Elvis. It's a different movie than what they're both biopics, yes, but different. They're different.
Different styles.
You'll see. You'll see. All right. So let's get to Batman.
Speaking of music.
Exactly. But first, let me take a moment to talk about Athletic Greens. So what is this stuff? What is Athletic Greens? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All of these things. AG1 is lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. AG1 contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. It also supports better sleep quality and recovery, and it supports mental clarity and alertness. So how much is this going to cost? AG1 will cost you less than $3 a day. It's cheaper than getting all your different supplements yourself. You're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/emerging. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/emerging to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Joker, what's your take? What was your take on, were you like, yeah, I want a sequel, or were you kind of in the camp of, okay, that movie was so perfect, guess just, don't F with it with a sequel, right? So where did you fall on that?
Last time we talked about the idea in itself, because Todd Phillips had posted on Instagram, and intrigued. I think I don't know how many times. This probably could have been a drinking game of me saying intrigued. My biggest, what do you want to say, hesitancy is because having a sequel will then inform a decision of where you land with the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as you can pretend a follow-up to a movie that you really like doesn't happen. You know that it did, and that you've seen it, and that you're aware of where it went, or, oh, because of the sequel, it wasn't as head, or it did really happen, or something. So that was just my only part with it, is like, because I still don't know. And I like that I still don't know.
And I think I said this in the last show. I am like, okay. I said, like, okay, Todd Phillips, show me what you got. If you're doing this, you're a creative. Joaquin Phoenix is a creative. So if you're going to do this, you both are aware of how one of the things about Joker that made it special was the ambiguity. There you go. Of whether how much of it was in Arthur Fleck's head and how much of it was not, et cetera, et cetera. And anywhere along that spectrum of how much or how little is all valid. That's part of the genius of the film. But me not being a creative, I can't get it in my mind of, well, because I think and most people, I guess your assumption is, well, if it's going to be a Joker sequel, then it's just like, a continuation, the story continue. So he'll be a crime lord or, some kind of, stuff like that. And the sequel just continues. The story continues. And you got to figure that they would come up with something different. Joaquin Phoenix, I don't think he's signing on for a cash grab.
No, he doesn't need to.
I think Todd Phillips is at a point, that he doesn't need a cash grab. He's he's pretty damn elite now,
After he got those Hangover movies, and then, he has a production company to where he serves as, I think he has a production company with Bradley Cooper. And they're both producers on a lot of movies and stuff. And it doesn't seem like he's starving for money either.
Yes.
It's a passion.
So if someone had told me, we're going to do a sequel to Joker and it's going to be a musical and we're going to get Lady Gaga in this to play Harley, that never would even cross my mind as a possibility of it being a musical.
They'd have said, Brian, we'll give you $1 million and 10 guesses. Because we did say last week, instantly in our head, it would be like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It just feels like Harley Quinn, but of course we didn't know anything. But I'm not good at casting.
Yeah.
And we'll give you 10 guesses who would be cast as Harley Quinn. We'll give you $1 million if you get it right. Maybe I would have landed on Lady Gaga on like guess 9 or 10. Maybe as just a desperate trying to find something, and not that because she's not good or anything like that. It just I wouldn't have thought of her. Then they would have said, "Now, what kind of movie would it be like? We'll give you 50 guesses and $1 million." I would guarantee you, I would have never said musical.
Never would have said musical.
Never. And
I stepped back when I read that story in the trades, and then I wrote the story on Batman on Film. I thought to myself, this is why these people do this and why fans are just fans. You with me on that?
Oh yeah. Because the instant response is a lot of it is I'm going to misquote it, but a lot of who was asking for this is always something that fans like to say.
Let fans,
artists, I was going to say artists will say, our job is to give fans what they want. They just don't know it yet. It is opening your eyes to something different and new that you didn't even really know that you liked that.
That's story wise, plot wise, tone wise, aesthetic wise, and casting as well. Going back, we talked about Robert Pattinson. What was the first thing? The guy from Twilight, sparkly vampire. I mean, we don't. And I put myself into this. I try to be open-minded. Some people, a lot of fans aren't. I mean, let's just be honest here. Okay. And that's why fans they need to just fan. Fans, you fan, and let the creatives create.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why they're doing this and we're not. And I stepped back and I thought, I would never thought of that. And I'm with you. I maybe would have guessed Lady Gaga out of 10 because I thought she was great in Star is Born.
She's a good actor.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
And she's obviously a great singer.
Yes.
So,
but I would never have factored in, okay, they're going to get Lady Gaga and it's going to be a musical. I never would have thought that. And I thought immediately, that's freaking brilliant. That is brilliant. That is brilliant to come up with that idea.
So full disclosure.
Yeah.
The first part that I read, I glazed over the musical or something. And I saw Lady Gaga in talks as Harley Quinn. And I was like, Oh, I see it. That is good. Then I saw the musical part, and that kind of let a little wind out of the sail because I'm just not a musical fan.
Yeah.
That's my genre. I don't watch musicals. I don't care for musicals. They're just, it's tough for me to get through a musical. That doesn't mean it's not going to be good and there aren't good musicals or anything. It's like, that's just not my thing. So there's a little bit of that of like, I know I will be seeing it whenever it comes out, and I will definitely watch it with an open mind and stuff like that. But that just like dampened the excitement a little bit because I'm like,
and I may be completely off base, but I don't think I am. When I see musical, they're going to do a musical. I thought, this is how you do something different. This is how you make a sequel. That's it's a sequel in spirit, that you're not affecting what the original, because there's no way it's going to be something literal where the Joker and Harley Quinn, Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga are, we're expecting them to actually be in Gotham and just, doing their Joker Harley thing and then just break out in song. So it's got to be shared madness. It's got to be part of the whole madness thing, the hallucination thing, it can't be, you can, with the music part, you can really riff on the whole, crazy.
They started singing like 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
and then follow that up with something.
So I'm
really
on
wholesome.
board, and I'm with you. I'm not a musical guy,
And I understand that we just talked about Elvis and music where he's singing on stage and stuff. To me, that is a concert, like that's a concert film, which is very different than we're walking down the street and we're like, Bill, how are you? I'm fine. Ryan, how are you? And we start singing and dancing, and then we continue on our way to go get some gumbo,
Yes.
It's totally different.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, I laugh, but I mean, I've watched South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, which is a musical, and I find that very entertaining. I only saw it like once, but I did like Tim Burton's Sweeney Todd. Because and that a lot of that was, it was a Tim Burton movie and it looked like Tim Burton stuff. So I was like, sure, but that's a lot of it. And I know a lot of Disney movies have songs, but I don't know. Joker, at least, I don't know. It's I said intriguing, right? It's very intriguing.
I mean, how much it's going to be like the musical part, it's got to be playing out in their minds, and it's just going to be nuts. I think it's just nuts. So I'm on board because it's just so different and it's nuts. And I always thought, I really did think, I said, some studio, be it Warner Brothers or Disney / Marvel, someone's going to make a musical superhero movie at some point. I just thought that would happen, maybe. Never in my mind did I expect it to be anything have to do with Batman. But then now I think
yet again.
But of course it's gonna be Batman.
Batman's world seems to be it provides the transitional movies or the watershed moments of a film, or I don't know what kind of adjective you want to use, but defining points of television in the 60s, the film in 89, the film again in 2008, Joker itself. I don't know if it was if it fits alongside that back in 2019. Definitely did do something different with a comic book character.
I think Joker is up there with The Dark Knight and the 60s TV series and Batman 89. It's up there with the genre defining.
There you go. Maybe that's like the most.
Is that a good word?
Sure. Because I don't know
genre
if there was
bending.
much transitional, but
Yeah.
like influential and genre bending and stuff. It seems to keep coming back to Batman or Batman related. And so this now they follow up that with something completely different. Again, it's like, wow, that's wild. And it's funny because I think, and I haven't looked up yet to see how they totally pronounce his name, David Zaslav or Zaslav. I'm not exactly sure.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know him, David Z. He mentioned, I remember, and maybe it was CinemaCon or somewhere, and he had complimented Joker and something about how he's impressed with a film like Joker that was like a smaller but still very unique and like original idea, like stuff like that. And then it's really funny to think, how much did he know this was, like, how far along this idea was, script, anything like that, when he said that.
And it makes me also get why Mr. Z, how about
There
that?
you go.
Mr. Z.
Mr. Z
wants Todd Phillips to be part of the DC group. I mean, it's they want him in some sort of position. It's kind of a creative position, but it's not an executive position. You know what I'm saying?
An overseer.
Yeah, not being a Feige. His role, I believe, is be more of a, in a creative and a producer capacity.
I don't understand. Everybody has an opinion, but it seemed like there's a lot of strong responses to that when that came out too. And I'm like, but just think about it. The guy did a $60 million budgeted movie and made over $1 billion with it. And that like started with him and his idea. As a businessman, it's like, okay, this guy has ideas, and maybe he said that because he was aware of what was going on with this one too. Yes. I don't know, to where it's like, maybe you didn't like Joker, which is completely fine. And so for the guy who did that to be, in the room leading the charge with future DC characters, maybe that doesn't totally excite you, but think about it, that's like business wise, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think people took it completely wrong, and it was like,
I think so too.
Oh, he's going to be their Feige, and he's going to oversee all DC movies, and they're all going to connect the Todd Phillips way. No, that's not what it was about.
They're all going to be dark and rated R.
Yeah. So,
no.
So I get with wanting someone like that to be part of the DC team at Warner Brothers when it comes to their films, to even have that idea. And is it, to make the sequel to Joker a musical? And is it like, it's like Joker, it's like maybe the only character you could get away with it doing a musical with?
As malleable as Batman is, I think we've either said it here or on the BOF podcast, Harley Quinn is just as malleable as he is. And I think Joker kind of is too. Go through Joker's history. I mean, especially like in the 50s and 60s. I mean, he was right there alongside Batman of fitting into the lighter science fiction fare before the 70s really grounded him back to like a homicidal clown and stuff.
Yeah.
And Harley Quinn, we've seen Harley Quinn. She hasn't, she's been around 30 years this year. And she's kind of started to go that way too. Yeah. So you could definitely do it with Joker and Harley Quinn in a movie. That, I don't know. It's intriguing. Like you said, it's intriguing and surprising, but also like a little not surprising if you think about it. Cause it's like, these would be the ones to try it out with. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad Joker instead of like Batman, the musical. I don't need to see Robert Pattinson's breaking out in song and dance.
Robert Pattinson can sing. He records music and has like bands and stuff. But okay, but no, I don't know about that. But on the other hand, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. The Music Meister is one of my favorite episodes of Batman Brave and the Bold. It is pretty top-notch stuff. Which is another reason.
I don't think I watched that one because it was a musical.
You have got to. Have you not seen Music Meister? You got to check. You got to check it out.
It.
You got to check it out. I promise you. You'll love it. If you don't, you get to read Batman on Film free for 1 year. 1 year subscription on me.
That's a good deal. Okay.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, I'm down with this, and I want to see where it goes. I want to see what it looks like. And hey, maybe I won't like it. I don't know. I have no idea.
You can not like something and still appreciate the big swing it took, or appreciate the effort, respect the effort.
But I'm totally on board to seeing what they come up with, even more than I would have been, because it just reeks of doing something different and not just not making a carbon copy of what came before,
And because it's all connected, we know Joaquin Phoenix can sing because he was Johnny Cash.
Exactly. He was. So, God, I'm really interested in this deal and seeing where it goes and what they come up with, what Harley will look like.
It's not finalized yet. So she's in talks, and I think it was Boris Kitt, the Hollywood Reporter. I think that was the first place we saw of it. And I think they said there isn't even a deal with Phoenix yet.
That's what it said in the report.
But I feel like it's gonna happen if Todd Phillips posts a picture of him reading the script.
Yeah.
Because if Phoenix really was on the fence about it, I don't know. I haven't talked to him, having lunch with him later this week.
Okay.
But he would not be like, don't take a picture of me reading this because I don't know if I'm in. It just seems like it's not finalized, but it's coming. It'll happen.
And I would say that probably pretty good chance that Lady Gaga is gonna
it's just the fine tuning of the deal,
because usually that stuff doesn't get to the trades until this is about to happen. Even though I know Robert Pattinson was like, it leaked out that he was screen testing and he was the favorite, and he was like, oh, this is gonna F me on for getting the role, but it didn't. So anyway, all right, Joker 2, the musical.
All right, it's happening.
That's going to be interesting to cover. All right, so that's going to do it. Yeah,
2023 or 2024. Whatever it takes.
2023, 24, whatever it takes. Let me think about that. Okay, I'm thinking along with. I think it'll come out before the Batman sequel. And I think the Batman sequel will be probably 2025. So
I think next year, I might think missing a third DC movie or I guess Batgirl would be it. I was gonna say now Aquaman 2, The Flash, and then maybe Batgirl is. So
let's think. Joker shot like in the fall of 2018, and then it was out in October of the following year, right?
Yeah, and I know we talked about this last time. Do you think they could do it? I guess we'll know if in a couple months, because it'll come out that it starts filming in wherever. Definitely, I think if they start filming this year, I would put money, and I'm not a gambling man. I put money on it's out next fall.
Yeah, I could see it. I'll say 23.
Okay.
I'll say 23.
Well, then I'll say 23.
All right. Okay. Let's both say it. 23. Done. All right. Plug away.
Check out my reviews and all my posts on Batman on Film by going to batmanonfilm.com. Reviewing the current Batman title, reviewing Sean Murphy's Batman Beyond the White Knight, And also check out BOF Podcast 196, where I got to interview Sean Murphy. And I think Mr. Garrett Grev, Minnesota's finest, and I are going to be recording a new episode for BOF Podcast later tonight.
Oh,
so
nice.
Check that out as well. And then check out my podcast, The Batman Book Club, on Twitter at The Batman BC, wherever you get your podcast. The last episode, most recent one that's also posted on Batman on Film, is with the legendary gentleman, Chris Clow, where we're talking face to face. So please check that out. And the next episode is going to be celebrating Batman Returns 30th anniversary. And we're talking the comic book adaptation with some other guests. So
cool.
Definitely pay attention to the feed for that.
Look at this.
You got the all black
Mm-hmm.
Todd McFarlane. Okay, so Bill's showing the Batman statue from the McFarlane toys, but it's the Pattinson all black version, because I think we've gotten our hands on the Jim Lee inspired one that's got red and black on it. This is the all black.
I pre-ordered this long ago, long time ago, and almost had forgot about it. So I get home a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one word in text in Texas.
Long ago?
While ago.
While ago. Okay.
While ago. WALLAGO. While ago.
All right.
And anyway, I get home from Dallas because we went for the Elvis thing. And this big box was sitting on the kitchen table. And Rachel's like, "What'd you order now?" I said, I don't have any idea. The only thing I'm expecting coming in is I ordered a new pair of glasses, So it was kind of big for my glasses.
Sure.
Open it up and it's that. And I literally, I said, and I was like, she's giving me this look. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I ordered this.
I don't even know how these show up anymore, Rachel. Okay.
Long ago. She goes, "Yeah, right. Whatever. Bullshit." But that is true. I'd forgot just about, because they were like delayed, So whatever. I'm gonna open it up here shortly sometime.
See,
today.
with that, because Amazon doesn't have a great track record of sending me stuff in perfect shape.
You told me that before. Yeah.
So I like the hunt. So I like to find stuff out in the wild.
Yes.
And when I saw that one, I wanted that one over the red and black one.
Mm-hmm.
But I did find the red and black one out in the wild, and packaging, everything was perfect shape. So I picked that one up, and I really, really like that, to where I'm like, if I see the all black one out in the wild, maybe, but I don't know.
Did you take it out of the box, or is it still boxed? Okay.
It is on my bookshelf.
Okay. I'm taking this one out. So
hell yeah.
All right. So all these shows that were mentioned are all part of the Batman Podcast Network, which is hosted by Batman on Film. Let's go to Batman on Film. There's a logo on the right side of the webpage. You can hit for check out all the shows that are part of that network. If you want to advertise on Batman on Film, advertisecast.com/Batman on Film. If you want to support Batman on Film, go to Patreon. Patreon.com/Batman on Film. Keeps the engine running. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Keeps the engine running. It's kind of like, you go in for a tune up or oil change, it just helps everything out. So, and go see Elvis. I'll have my review up on Batman on Film. You can check it out. The written review. I did a straight out of the screening reaction that will be on YouTube here shortly. Did you happen to see that? I posted on Facebook.
I did. You had to cover up your puffy eyes.
Yeah, they were
sunglasses.
Puffy. They were a little puffy. There was a bunch of the air quality in that screening was not good. It was irritating my
allergy
eyes.
Season.
Allergies
in a theater.
Allergies, exactly.
Theater.
And I did a whole show on the satellite show. The last one I did was all on Elvis. I had Freakbase and Chris Roach. Both are professional touring musicians.
Nice.
And it was nice to get their perspective on Elvis and Elvis music and so forth. So,
and that was a
check
part
out.
1. Part 2 is after the movie comes out.
After the movie comes out, we're going to reconvene and talk about the film itself, which I kind of talked about it a little bit today,
Sure.
but whatever. This is my damn website.
You can have like a spoiler reaction or spoiler-filled discussion then after everybody sees it. So
Yeah.
it'll be cool.
Just get ready for the ending, man, of that movie. Be ready.
Batman shows up. Ah, spoiler!
Damn it.
Sorry.
I told you not to say anything.
Cut that out. Cut it out.
All right. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jett's official vlog and podcast on Batman on Film. Follow Jett on Twitter @BatmanOnFilm. Follow the BOF newsfeed on Twitter @The Batman on Film. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, established in 1998.